Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear viewers, those are at their home. Tighten up your seatbelts because we are going back to the history and we will solve one mystery. Thank you for the magnificent introduction. Today we are going to cover up the story about the Indian subcontinent. Don't sleep, it's history class, okay? The Indian subcontinent. It was only 2 times when the whole Indian subcontinent was under one flag. Once it was under the flag of the great Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb Alamgir. And the second, it was under the flag of the great Maurya Emperor Ashoka. Ashoka the Great. Ashoka, he was born to the king of the Maurya Empire, Vidusura, and his queen Dharma. Ashoka as a kid was a very adventurous and a very fearsome fighter. He was given the knowledge of the royal military training. His skills with the swords were very good. He was a fearsome fighter, a great hunter, and a very adventurous guy. It was because of this he was sent away from his home to train up more as a warrior. Later on, he was sent to a great voyage away from his home, away from his family, to the southern empire of the Maurya dynasty to just fight with the riots which were arising there. Time passed, Ashoka became better and better, and he came to be known as a very bad temper, very wicked nature. He, as a warrior, was aside by all of the warriors in the region. He was the best among them. Time passed, days passed, years passed. Vidusura, the father of Ashoka, died, which led to a war for the throne, a war for who will become the next king. Vidusura, the father of Ashoka, wanted Ashoka's stepbrother, Sushil, to be the next king. But his father's ministers wanted Ashoka to be the next king because of the capabilities and the abilities that Ashoka was having. Overall, there was a guy named Chandragupta. There was a guy named Chandragupta who supported Ashoka to become the next king. And Ashoka, as being of a bad nature, as being of a wicked nature, killed all of those who were standing against him. He killed his own stepbrother by throwing him into a pit of live coal. Ladies and gentlemen, time passed, years passed. Ashoka came to know as of a very wicked nature. Once he took a royalty test of his ministers and got 500 of them killed. He was having a harem of 500 women, and it is said that once when some of them insulted Ashoka, he burned the whole palace with 500 women inside. Ashoka, he was of a very bad nature. His hunger for the empire, for the kingdom, for being a king to rule over people was not yet over. So he decided to war against Kalinga. Kalinga, another dynasty who was at the east side of India, was very proud of the democracy, of the soldiers and of their army. But Ashoka was very different. He was among the best. He very easily and single-handedly gained victory over them. And it was in the Kalinga's war, when he was walking through the Kalinga ground, when he just seen the body of many people laying around. They all were dead. He moved at that time. He went into the city. He roamed around the city. He saw women crying over their bodies, women crying over their loved ones. Then he see that scene. He cried and he said the famous monologue. The monologue was like this: "What have I done? Is this victory or is this defeat? If this is victory, then what is defeat? Is this justice or is this injustice? Is it gallantry or is it rout? Is it failure to kill the innocents? Am I doing it just to expand my empire, for the prosperity of my empire? Or I'm killing some innocent's life, destroying a kingdom and ruining their splendor? Is it a victory? Or is it a defeat? Someone has lost a father, someone has lost a brother, someone a dear one, someone an unborn infant. Is this a victory or is this a defeat? Are all these lying here and crying? Are these vultures, crows and eagles, the messenger of death and evil? After the conquest of Kalinga, Ashoka changed. He adopted Buddhism, the teaching of Buddha, and by taking his position at where he was, he spread the religion Buddha all over the subcontinent, and he was quite successful in it. Ashoka, the very great warrior, Ashoka, the guy who was known as Ashoka the Fierce, now became known as Ashoka the Divine. He ruled almost for 40 years all over the subcontinent. It is said that his body burned for 7 days and 7 nights. He died at the age of 72. He was a very great warrior, a very great ruler. Maybe the name of his family, his brothers and his wife and sisters have lost in the history. His reign has lost in the history, but his teachings are still there in the form of encrypted signs and actions in different stones and pillars that are still found in the Indian subcontinent. The third monarch of the Indian dynasty, Maurya, was the best exemplary leader ever found in the history of the world. Over to you.